Howdy, howdy, howdy again, everybody. It is still December 29th. It's still 2015 for a little while longer. And I'm still Theresa. Yes, I am. And I just felt a little silly. And I decided I wanted to come on here and jibber jabber at you guys. Because I had decided, and I forgot this morning, that I wanted to have Tuesdays be the fine wine time. And maybe if some of my other friends wanted to do it too, that could be the day of the week that we could whine about whatever was bothering us in our life. And feel justified in doing it. I have a few whines. I wouldn't really call them rants. But I call them a whine. Do you want to hear them? Well, you must, because you're still watching. Told you I'm feeling weird. I'm feeling funkalicious. Okay. One of my fine wines is the doctors wanting to run 1,000 tests. Basically, to cover their ass. I'm going to tell you how I feel. So be ready. And be ready, because occasionally I'll say a few swear words. That's just how I am. I don't swear very much, but once in a while I let one slip. So just be ready. Plug your ears. If you got kids in the room, plug their ears. You know, if your pets are sensitive, plug their ears. Anyway, I gotta get a drink of pop. Yeah. Oh. Diet Dr. Pepper. I love it. And I know it's not good for me, but my doctor says the amount I drink a day, which is 2 cans, is okay. Anyway. And my doctor, thank goodness, knows now not to push it. He knows I'm going to say no to a lot of stuff. He says he knows I'm going to say no to having a colonoscopy. He knows I'm going to say no to having a lot of things. He even knows that I'm going to say no to the mammogram. And I'm probably going to say no to the yearly pap smears. Now, okay, and I know I'm running a risk and everything, and this is just how I am. I'm very hands-off, you know, because I have had such a long history of medical problems. I even had what was it, MRSA? You know, the super staph infection. I almost lost my life over that one. I've told a story about that a long time ago. You know, years and years and years of seeing an asthma specialist and in and out of the doctor with all kinds of staph infections and lung infections and the kidney infections, and I mean, I fought a staph infection was finally turned into MRSA for over 25 years because I got a staph infection when I gave birth to my first child at 19. I made a mistake of getting married when I was 18. Had my first child when I was 19. And I got a staph infection from having her. And I fought that, you know. But anyway, so now the doctors are always, you know, they always want to run all these tests. And it's like, okay, we're not doing a pap smear because I've never had a bad one come up, and I really don't think I need to have one I'm not, you know, I've had my tube tied since I gave birth to my second daughter when I was 21. You know, and I used to go every year like a good little girl and stuff, but now that I'm older and stuff, and you know, my body may be thinking into going into full menopause, I hope, because we've been doing the peri for a long time. Or pre-menopausal, yeah. Anyway, I don't want to. The mammogram, No, because there's so much scar tissue from what happened to my right breast with the lumpectomy and the massive infection and the staph infection in there, and then all they had to do and the packing and everything. Every time I have one, they think, oh my God, she probably got breast cancer. We'll probably need to open her up. And it's like, no, we aren't doing that, It cost us thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. These medical tests, which I feel like are unnecessary. I had a cardiologist one time put me on six months of bed rest because he thought I was going to have a massive heart attack and die because I was just a few pounds too heavy for their machine at the hospital to do a test. Well, I fired him because he wasn't doing anything. He wasn't getting anywhere. And went to another cardiologist, which was able to do the test needed in his office, which was a chemical stress test, and one of those angio imaging things, where they put the dye in you and then they can see it. I mean, my husband watched it, I watched it, and the whole thing is I have a mitral valve prolapse. That it's just, now it's just barely starting to leak just a little bit. So yeah, I have this heart murmur that, they detect and stuff. But, it isn't necessary to run all these tests all the time. I mean, we've been paying for, the last 3 years, my husband's wages have been garnished because we're paying for all these massive bills, medical bills, from when I got so sick. And then he got sick. And yes, we had insurance. And this is just our part, but in our area of the country, they won't work with you at all. And that's neither here nor there. I think we're about finished with that now. I mean, we sat and paid all of them now. But anyway, I'm not going to have all these tests done. My doctor laughs because he's like, he'll be rattling off about the mammogram, about the about the colonoscopy, and about the flu shot. And I'm like, no. And he's like, okay, I'll just keep asking you every time you come in. And I'm like, okay, but he's really great about it. He knows that we don't like to spend much. We don't have to. I mean, some of the tests are necessary, but some of them with me, it's like I've already had those tests. I don't think I need to have it every year. Maybe I'll have it every 2 years. So, anyway, that's just me. I think the doctor sometimes you ask them, why are you running this test? Well, to rule out, it's like, okay, I'll sign whatever piece of paper saying that you offered me this test and I said no, and that way if something happens and stuff, you can say you can't sue me because I offered you that test. I mean, if I wanted to sue for malpractice, I could have plenty of time in my life. I just never have and never have even threatened. My other whine is these grocery prices. People, what are we supposed to do? My husband and I last night, I wanted to get some apples. He goes, some of these apples are more expensive per pound than beef right now. Like, I know. That's just ridiculous. I don't know if it's just here in Wyoming or not, but I mean, $4.74 a pound for apples? Really? That's crazy. That is just crazy. I mean, every time you go to buy something, it's like, holy crap. I definitely going to be planting some fruit trees and stuff, when we get relocated. That's part of the whole reason why Florida and stuff is, being able to garden year round and the fruit trees and all of that. But these grocery prices are just insane to me. I mean, I'm sure everybody else is feeling the pinch too, and it's really sad in this nation that, or in this economy that it'll be much cheaper to feed your children ramen noodles than it would to be able to feed them fresh fruits and vegetables. And I know that's been that way for a long time, but it's getting harder and harder. It just, if you want to buy some chemically filled, high carb, full of sugar, void of any nutritional value, processed food, it's cheap enough. But if you want to buy any wholesome, no chemicals, pure fruits, vegetables, and stuff, you're really gonna pay. It's just ridiculous. But, well, once in a while you get a little lonely around the house and stuff, and decide you just like to chat a little bit. And I don't like to bug anybody because I know other people are busy and got their own stuff going on and stuff, so, But, I just want to kind of touch base on those two things. Like I said, please don't think I'm judging anybody that goes and has these medical tests done, because everybody has to do what's right for them and their body and their health. And you gotta listen to your body. You know your body best. I mean, when we were facing the breast cancer and everything, I definitely got right in. And I even had the surgery for that on the day my youngest daughter graduated from high school. Yes, I still managed to make it to her graduation that evening. I don't remember any of it because I was so doped up on painkillers and stuff. But, when there's been a major problem, we definitely get in. And we definitely do go to the doctor. Like I said, I know the symptoms for diabetes, knew I was borderline. I got right in. And, we'll be going in here in February again for another checkup. But, some of these tests, it's like, no, I don't want all these tests done. I mean, I don't have any family history of any colon cancer or anything. So, I don't want to have that done. And, I don't like being messed with. I've had enough surgeries and stuff. Now, my husband, on the other hand, has never had any surgery in his life, other than having his wisdom teeth out. But, I mean, he has never been admitted to the hospital. He has never had a surgery. Crazy, huh? But, I just think, sometimes I think these doctors don't have a clue. So you get some really good doctors, like I have a great general practitioner. And I've had some really good doctors over the years. And then I've had some real quacks. And I've fired quite a few. Because especially if they're going to act like they're God, and it's like, you're not God. You work for me. I'm actually paying your salary, your staff salary, and everything. So, don't talk down to me. And, I feel like it's a partnership with a doctor. They need to listen to what you're saying as a patient and not just act like you know nothing and run over the top of you. And if you're not comfortable with your doctor, get rid of them and get a new one, because if you have a choice, sometimes you don't have a choice. In your area, stuff like here, we're very limited on specialists. I fired my asthma doctor. He had me so overloaded on steroids and stuff, it wasn't even funny. And I was sicker when I was going to him than I am now. I have not had pneumonia like I used to have and stuff. He always had me on prednisone and all these antibiotics, multiple inhalers and pills and stuff. And what was funny is any new drug that came out, he would put you on, but he wouldn't take away anything. And I think he was getting paid by the pharmacy rep. Pharmacy rep was always in there. But anyway, I just thought I'd come in here and kind of be silly and just kind of yak at you guys. And if you watched it, thank you. And if you didn't, I understand. Hope everybody has a good night. I'm making fat-free egg rolls tonight, which is one of my husband's favorite. I make them homemade, and I don't fry them in deep fat, in a deep fat fryer or anything. I pan fry them so they're fat-free with free pan. So anyway, that's what we're having for dinner and rice. So I will talk to you guys later, and I hope you're having a good one. Bye.